Anjana here. Having a platform for a comprehensive information regarding higher studies is what students require. Today I am in conversation with Mr. Tarun Ravindran, co-founder of Apasys. Apasys is a college readiness portal for students from class 9 to 12. Welcome to Pep Talk. So Apasys is a college readiness portal. It's for class 9 to 12 students. You are an engineer. You have an MBA from Canada. So when did you decide that education is your calling? What was your journey like?
Very interesting question. In fact, so I'm not an educationist per se. So as you said, went through the engineering and MBA grind, was into the tech space, was handling the APAC region for Siemens. That was my last corporate job. But somehow, I think probably when you're in the 40s, a calling comes, after all this while. And the calling in my case was that all around me, a lot of my colleagues who had children in that age group of, 9th to 12th was struggling, and this was quite surprising because you had the internet all around you with a lot of information. And a little bit of inquisitiveness, it led me to believe that there are fundamental issues in the way this entire college readiness or the opportunity awareness, that part was lacking in a huge way, despite all the information overflow. And I thought, this could be simplified and this problem could have a very, very clean and clear solution. And that's probably what got me thinking. So there was this opportunity angle, and the fact that there is a problem that can be solved which can impact a lot of lives. So that's, I think, probably what drove me.
It sounds somewhat similar to my story. I should say, okay. So I understand that you're associated with schools in New Delhi. Right, so normally schools have a student counselor. So how different is your service? What are the programs that you offer?
Right. So one is that Apasys, as we as a brand is not localized to Delhi. We in fact have customers all across India, from Bangalore, Chennai, as far as Faizabad, which is like an interior town in UP. So what our value proposition to schools is that schools have counselors. You rightly said that, but those counselors are mostly psychology counselors. So for handling adolescent issues and issues as students grow up to handle that, and they're trained for that. They are, however, not trained for career related, to answer, to sort of give them the kind of insight for career guidance or career path awareness. And many of them, unfortunately, have to double up doing that work using Google, so that's a struggle. So we found this huge gap. Yes, marquee premium schools in large cities may have a career guidance counselor or a career guidance cell, but 95% of the schools in India do not have that facility. So we are sort of plugging that gap, telling schools that, look, you don't have the capability or the capacity. We are a platform that will probably help you scale up this particular need of your students. So I think that's why schools are receptive to Apasys as well. And what we are doing is we have this platform with a lot of information. We also offer assessments, so schools can give this stream selection or career path selection assessments. And, as an optional component, we also have one-to-one guidance for students. So it's a combination of various services that we offer to school, but platformized. So it makes it easier for delivery as well.
So is it like it's for schools, or if somebody wants some individual sessions, you do that as well?
Sure. We do that. In fact, we have different market segments, schools being one, wherein we have this, we tell schools, you have this end users in bulk. But we also serve the individual, so if there is a parent or a student who wants to use the services of Apasys for the opportunity discovery, to understand what colleges are there, what exams are there, those insights, they can individually register. So they can go to apasys.com. There is a section where they can actually, there's a section for students, and then, various plans and schemes are provided there. You can choose that.
Right. So, you're associated with NGOs, right? So I presume the services for the underprivileged children. So what is the role of APASS in that?
Right. So Anjana, I mean, if you look at how our education system is, and it sort of incentivizes those who have, the between the haves and the have-nots. The education system is having a perverse incentive to the children who don't have access, to a lot of information. And the underprivileged or the underserved segment, whether it is in the rural areas or or in the cities, the underbellies of cities. And what happens is nobody is there to sort of ask them, what do you want to become, where do you want to go, and those kind of assistance. The good part is there are a lot of NGOs on the ground who are trying to help students in some way, in whatever manner it is possible. So that's where Opasys goes to NGOs and tells them that, look, you're putting a lot of effort, you're on the ground, but here's a interesting proposition. You could use Opasys to sort of uplift or upskill, build awareness among these children, because these children in the end are just victims of opportunity, right? So you have to give them the opportunity. So we tie up with NGOs, they use the CSR initiatives to sort of drive our program down to the underprivileged. So we do that around the national capital region, in Noida. We have a tie-up with the Isha Vidya schools in Coimbatore, right? So we are trying to sort of do this kind of our payback to the society in whatever way we can, right? And sort of associating with the NGOs and helping those children level up to this.
That's a great attempt. Okay, so and there are specific programs for corporate. So your end user is parents of students in high school and above. So why would corporates need your service?
Good question. In fact, this was an accidental segment discovery for us. It's probably about 2.5 years back. In our circle, we were just discussing what the kind of approaches we are doing, and in our friend circle there was the HR head for a prominent organization. When she heard about what we were doing, she said, look, I mean, we have these anxious parents whom we are anyway targeting via schools, and these parents are having this anxiety is like coming to the workplace, and as a result they're stressed out. It sort of impacts their work performance. And as organization, as HR teams, we would like to see if this could be rolled out, in our locations, because even if they call a counselor, once or twice a year, it's very location centric. It can't be scaled up to 5 factories, interior areas, and stuff like that. So we said, yeah, sure, we can pilot it. So we did this pilot. It sort of worked out, and we have a package for corporates in the wellness segment. We call it employee wellness program, wherein we offer it to them. It really works well. We have organizations like ITC, which we have various segments and factories across the country, and all of those employees of those the employees and their children making taking benefit out of the program. In fact, I think one of their programs that they brought in using Opasys, it won an HR award, in the HRDN network, as they call it in the human resources area, for innovative, programs. So that's an encouragement. We work with corporates, especially the larger and mid-sized firms.
Right, and you provide a support system for independent counselors, like a growth enabler for them. Can you take me through this aspect?
Yes. Now, look, if you think of the independent counselors, they are the you can say the entrepreneurs themselves, trying to use their knowledge about careers and guidance in helping children. The problem that many of the counselors, independent counselors, have is number one, a digital presence. Okay, so if they have to grow and sort of pan out and reach out, they need to have their website and tell them what who we are and things like that, and they have to reach out and things like that. So and of course, then there is the problem that school counselors face is to get updated information. So they are relying on Google. Again, Google has problems because it's a good search engine. It's not a good validation engine. You know what I mean, right? Content that is thrown out by Google is probably not authenticated. You'll need to authenticate whether the information there is right or not. So the independent counselors face this issue, and what we do is we tell the counselors, look, we'll give you a digital presence. It's we'll give you a co-branded presence. You don't have to worry about opening a website. You can enroll students into Opasys, under you. So under their co-branded initiative, they can enroll students and offer all the services that we provide in terms of information, in terms of the assessments and guidance. They are the experts, right? So they use our platform to provide their guidance and also to enroll students using that. So it's sort of a one shed solution for them: digital presence, reach, and updated information. So it's sort of attractive for them and serves them well.
That's a great work there. So thank you so much for your time. Wishing you all success. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Pleasure talking to you.
Same here. Keep watching Pep Talk.